Okay, Tracy's had her camera on all morning, smiling away there. Tracy Novak, when you're ready, let's get you in the hot seat and welcome to 100X DNA Masterclass. Okay, World Masterclass team, let's get our friend Tracy Novak in the hot seat.
Oh, there. Okay.
Hey, Tracy, how you doing there?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Where are you joining me from today?
Just north of Brisbane.
Just north of Brisbane. How far north do we have to go? How many kilometres? It's a big place.
Gosh. I don't know. I'm not good at kilometers. I guess about
Miles.
45 minutes out.
45 minutes out. Okay, lovely. Beautiful. Well, thanks for being here with us today. Are you enjoying yourself so far?
I am. I've learned a lot.
Excellent.
And do you like my Australian accent, by the way?
G'day, mate.
Yeah, g'day.
Where are you originally from?
From Canada originally.
From Canada. Excellent. So how do you enjoy the warmer climate versus the cold Canadian
it's
climate?
funny. I've been here since 2006, and I used to love the heat, but we're getting a lot of heat now, so not so nice.
It's a big difference, isn't it? I'm from northwest Sydney in a place called the Hawkesbury district.
Oh.
So it's the foothill of the mountains, and it's often very dry. So I moved from a very green, dry area of Sydney, and I went and lived in the Middle East, and I lived in the desert from 2007 to 2012. And then I moved to Taiwan. So here in Taiwan, we have full 4 seasons, and we've just come out of winter. So it can even snow here on the island. And it can be 0 degrees. And in summer, it can get up all the way up to 40 degrees and really wet. So a little bit like far north Queensland.
Actually, Ontario can be like that. We've got extremist minus conditions. Up to, in recent years, they've been getting 40 and 42 in the city.
Wow. It's crazy, isn't it? Well, let's make the most of our time together. Let's do some hot seat coaching. So whenever we start coaching, the question is, where do you want to be 12 months from today? What's that 12-month goal you're working towards? What's the most important goal for you to achieve in the next 12 months?
Next 12 months, it's financial security for sure.
Excellent. And what's the number that you want to achieve? Is it you want to reduce debt or do you want to increase savings? Which side of the equation are you going to work on?
Increase income.
Increase income. Beautiful. And how much do you want to increase that income by? What's the dollar figure? A lot.
I have in my mind, and this is where you talk about stretching. I've been living hand to mouth, but I really see myself like way up 6 figures. That's where I see myself. My lifestyle has changed dramatically from years ago. But it's been a long time. So I've come from one extreme and hit the low, and now I want to go even higher than what I had before.
Excellent. So 6 figures, do you want to hit 100, 150, 200, 250? What's the 6 figures you're looking for?
So I want to have at least $500,000.
500. Beautiful.
Because houses here now cost, like 500,000 doesn't get you anything. It doesn't even get you a townhouse right now. So, my real dream is $1 million, because then I could buy a house, a car, and then I could travel. So, because right now I don't have a house, I don't have a car, and I haven't traveled since before I landed on the island. So
I've got it. So you want financial security. The number that you're aiming towards is 500,000. And what are 3 things that excite you about achieving that goal? Now, I want you to think about that for a moment, and I want to explain this question to everybody. Emotions are the accelerator pedal on the law of attraction. So if you have a goal, but you have no emotional connection, then what will happen is it'll take a long time to achieve that goal and it will be really slow. But once you have an emotional connection and you've got at least 3 reasons that really excite you, what happens is everything accelerates. Did you see George before? Tracy, similar situation, started at 0, already earning 200 USD per hour, and he's got 18 new clients. But you can see it. He wants it. He has reasons to succeed. So what are 3 things that excites you about achieving this goal of $500,000?
Can one of them be to get rid of a fear of being homeless? Because right now it's been scary the last couple of years here. Like I've had to move a couple times, and each time it's been such a scary experience because there's so many people ending up homeless. And I've just skimmed through it the last minute each time, paying rent that I really can't afford, and just praying that I come up with some money to keep us week by week. So that.
Well, I'd be excited to get rid of that fear. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so number 1, to get rid of the fear of being homeless,
Mm.
what's the second thing that excites you about this goal?
To be completely in control of my life and not have to be answerable to other people. To know that I can wake up in the morning and take care of all the bills, and to be able to have a home again, like to physically own a home and a car, so that if I want to go somewhere, there's no drama. I get to just jump in a nice vehicle and drive, because I've had a car since I was like 19.
Excellent. Let me come back to that in a moment.
Yeah.
So let me just run back through this. The three things that excite you. Number one, you get rid of the fear of being homeless. You don't want to be scared anymore. Secondly, you're going to be in complete control of your life, not answerable to anybody else. And thirdly, what excites you is you can own your own home and you can own your own car. Is that correct?
Yes, and travel.
And travel.
I miss seeing the world. Yes.
Beautiful. Excellent. Now, in relationship to your goal of earning $500,000, where are you starting from? And I want you to describe your current situation in relation to the $500,000 goal.
It's in what way? Like distance? Like right now, I'm working part-time, not as a part-timer, as a casual.
So let me give you an example.
I work when there's business. Let's just say that.
So before you mentioned that you are living hand to mouth.
Yeah.
So beautiful. So you got 500,000 over here, 12 months from now. And where you're starting from at the moment is you're living hand to mouth. You're working part-time. And what's the gap? Are you currently at $20,000 and you want to get to 500, which means the gap's 480,000? What's the gap? What's the dollar gap?
$460,000 gap.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So for all of you future business owners, for all of you future leaders, for the people who want to coach others, the coaching takes place in the gap. You get clarity on the goal, you have a clear starting point, and then all the coaching takes place in the gap. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put a plan in place to close this gap of 465,000. Once you close the gap, the goal takes care of itself. So let's do a couple of things now. Tracy, we want to have a look at your disc report. So just to confirm, is this your disc report?
Yes.
Is that you? Excellent.
That's me.
Okay. Now, the first thing we want to have a look at here is your descriptive words on page number 12. So the descriptive words here on page number 12, and we're specifically focusing on the D style. So this is how you're going to approach problems and challenges. So which of these words here best describe you? Which of those words best describe you?
Contemplative, maybe?
Which one? Contemplative?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
it does. Would that mean like thinking too much on them? Like just
overthinking.
Yeah. Okay. That's it then.
Okay, cool. So when it comes to solving problems and challenges, your descriptive word is going to be contemplative. So I'm just going to highlight this here for everybody to see. Now, there's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. We all do it differently. What's important is what it means to you. So when it comes to solving problems and challenges, and you attempt to do this contemplatively, what does the word contemplative mean to you?
Overthinking, going over and over and over.
And for how long will you overthink it?
Sometimes to the point where there's a fire under my feet and I've got to make a decision one way or another. I'm up against the wall, so to speak.
Anybody else here like that? Not until you're up against the wall, not until then you make a decision. Okay, excellent. Now, why is this word contemplative important to you? Why is it waiting for things, why is it that you'll overthink, you won't make a decision until you're up against the wall? Why is that important to you?
Fear of making the wrong decision. Like trying to figure out all the outcomes.
Okay. So contemplative, it's overthinking. You won't make a decision till your back's up against the wall. And this is because there's a fear of making the wrong decision. And then what you'll do is you'll try to figure out all of the possibilities.
Yeah.
And then you'll act. Okay. Now, as you think about this contemplative approach to solving problems and challenges, how is this helping or how is this hurting you? So let's start with how it helps you, if any.
I'm trying to think. How does it help? Well, I guess it stops me from jumping into the wrong thing, or I'm not sure that it really helps.
Okay, so at least we've got one there, so it stops you from jumping in. Now let's have a look at the flip side. How does it hurt you?
It hurts me because it slows down the whole decision making. Or sometimes I will jump into something and then regret it because I haven't really thought it through, because I know that I procrastinate. So sometimes I can go too far though and just go, oh, that must be the answer. I'll do that. And then without really thinking about it. And then I go, okay, that hasn't worked. Maybe I should really think about this. But then I overthink it and it never seems like the right thing. And I question, either way.
Yes, makes sense. Okay, so let me...
It's exhausting, I'll tell you. It's exhausting.
How many years of your life have you lost because of that?
I'd say pretty much since I landed here. So since 2006.
And we're now 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good 9 years.
Yes.
No, not 9 years.
No, it's longer.
Longer.
Yeah, yes.
2006.
Yeah.
2016, 10 years, 17 years.
Mm.
Okay. So let me just run back through this. Tracy's goal is to achieve financial security.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is it means $500,000. And what excites her about this is she wants to get rid of the fear of being homeless, because that scares her. She wants to be in complete control of her life and not answerable to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to own her own home, her own car. She wants to be able to travel. And where she's starting from is living hand to mouth and working part-time. And the gap she's got to close is $465,000. We also started to have a look here at her D style. And we can see the way that she approaches problems and challenges is with a contemplative approach. And what this means to Tracy is that there's going to be overthinking, there'll be a fire under her feet, the back's going to be up against the wall, and then she'll make a decision. Because there's a fear of making a wrong decision. And then she'll try to figure out all of the options, and then she'll act. Mm-hmm. And how this benefits her, at times, it stops her from jumping in and making a decision. But how it's hurting her is it's slowing down her decision-making process. And then there's going to be a conflict, isn't there, Tracy? You'll jump in without even thinking about it. And then that'll lead to procrastination. And then after that, the overthinking will take place. You'll question everything. It becomes exhausting. And you've been doing this since 2006, a 17-year pattern.
Yes.
Now, the fourth step in coaching, Tracy, is we have to anticipate when this problem is going to come up again. So over the next 12 months, when do you anticipate this problem is going to come up again? Because you've got to close this gap of $465,000. Isn't that correct?
Mm-hmm.
When is this same problem going to come up? What do you anticipate?
Making the decision as to what will get me that income, what actions will get me that income, and then believing I've made the right choice and staying with it until I get that income, instead of going, well, maybe there's something better. Oh, what if it doesn't work and there's something else that would work better? That sort of conversation goes on. Or what if it takes too long before I make that first bit of money? How long can I, the time, effort, how long can I wait until I start to see income coming in before I throw in the towel and just have to go back to what I keep doing, taking crappy jobs just to survive?
So for you, it's going to come up really fast because you've got to make that decision of what are you actually going to do to make the 500K. And so it's going to come up in the decision-making process. It's then going to come up in the how you're going to go about making it happen. And then you're going to be in two minds. You're going to have an angel on one shoulder, a devil on the other. Is this the right choice? Is it the wrong choice? Am I going the right direction? Am I going in the wrong direction? Should I start now? Should I wait a little bit more? And then you'll be in two minds. And after the two minds, you'll start to go through all the what ifs. The what ifs about time. The what ifs about effort. And then it's just going to come down to a point of how long before I throw in the towel? How long until I quit? Is that the pattern?
Yes.
Isn't it nice to have a coach?
Yeah.
It can take us, here, 17 years, we can do these patterns and oftentimes we're not even aware of them. So the first step, Tracy, is to get awareness. Now, awareness doesn't solve the problem. Is everybody familiar with that? Just because the doctor diagnoses you with cancer, the diagnosis doesn't take away the cancer, does it, Tracy?
No.
You've still got to have medication or a possible operation. So Tracy, are you working with a coach? Do you have a coach to hold you accountable so you don't quit when you get in two minds? Have you got a coach in your life?
Not now, but if I go in one direction or the other direction, I may have a coach in either direction that may help hold me accountable.
Okay. And that's what coaches do. They hold you accountable so you don't quit. And one day I'd love to have that opportunity to coach you. Tracy, thank you so much for being in the hot seat. Wonderful insights, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy that, ladies and gentlemen? Once you can define your obstacles, then the next step is to put plans in place to overcome them. And that's why I say all world champions have a coach. Every Olympic athlete has a coach. And if you want to become the best in your field, then you too need a coach.